Welcome to the KAJ Masterclass. In this episode, we have a top legal eagle, Supreme Court advocate, Mr. Vivek Sood. Vivek Sood is amongst the leading senior counsel in India. Apart from a very successful law practice spanning 3 decades, Mr. Sood is a prolific writer with 6 books behind him and many more to come. His books are pioneering works on the subjects he chooses to write on. He is a fearless speaker on legal and constitutional issues, having delivered over 500 talks. He is followed by thousands of people on social media. Alongside his successful law practice, Mr. Sood takes up social causes as he strongly believes in returning back to the society all that the society has given him. He espouses the cause of promoting DNA evidence in a campaign initiated by Ogilvy called DNA Fights Rape. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be a part of this show.
Thank you very much, sir. So, talking about the new book, Progress of the Indian Economy, Legislative Pro Activism Since 2015. So, I would like to know more about the theme of this book, sir.
Generally, the Indian economy is judged by GDP growth, by inflation, by employment numbers, stock market indices, etc. But I found that there should be other parameters to judge the Indian economy. For example, the legislations that are brought into play by the parliament. Another instance is economic justice for the common man should also be a parameter to judge the Indian economy.
Yeah.
So when I saw this subject, I found a theme, and the theme was that since 2015, the legislature, the government of India, has proactively brought in certain legislations which usher the real progress in the Indian economy and which usher economic justice in the Indian economy. For example, the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code of 2016. Before 2016, the Indian economy was called as the debtor's paradise and the creditor's hell. Now the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code of 2016 comes into play. It changes the landscape of the Indian economy. Another revolutionary legislation that has come into the statute book is RERA. In the pre-RERA scenario, the home buyers were no more than street protesters. They had no effective legal remedies. Now you have the RERA, which empowers the home buyers.
Right.
Similarly to the Fugitive Offenders Act of 2018, the Commercial Courts Act of 2015. Now I see 2015-16 as landmark years for the Indian economy, where economic justice and real progress have been ushered into the Indian economy through proactive legislative action.
Right. So I get it, and we'll get more on the all the chapters that you have in detail described in this book. Just tell me, sir, what motivated you to write this book exactly?
It is the theme and the subject which have motivated me to write the book. I must go back in time. In 2011, I coined the expression, the fundamental right to internet. That there is an emergence of the fundamental right to internet because of its usage in the life of the common man, in the life of the citizen. We can't do without the internet. So I saw the right to internet emerging as a fundamental right, being part of Article 21, the right to life and liberty guaranteed by the Constitution of India. Then in the earlier part of 2021, I could visualize the emergence of commercial justice in India through the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code of 2016 and the amendments in the Arbitration Act of 2015-16. So I wrote a book titled Emergence of Commercial Justice. Now I got excited when I found this theme, this subject, that, why do we keep judging our economy with numbers? There should be more substantial constitutional parameters to judge the Indian economy. So that excited me. It's a new subject. It's, I don't like writing run-of-the-mill stuff that has been written earlier. So I found this subject to be exciting, inspiring. And I must say that, this government led by the Honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, has done a fantastic job. And I'm not talking in the air. Since 2015 till date, the proactive legislative action that has come into existence in India is unparalleled. It is unprecedented. And I must say that 2016 is as important a year, or even more important a year than 1991, when the economic liberalization happened. In 1991, economic liberalization happened. In 2016 onwards, economic justice has been ushered into the Indian economy. We are seeing real progress. That is, equity is there, justice is there, fairness is there in the Indian economy today. So these are the motivating factors which led me to authoring this work.
That's nice, sir. So very quickly for our viewers, if you can tell us, because you have dealt in detail, and this book is not is being released by Thomson Reuters. It's a big publisher, actually. So am I right, sir?
Yes, absolutely correct. Yeah. They are very excited. They were very excited when I pitched it to them, and they immediately jumped on the subject.
Yeah, so this is such a great thing to see such reputed name being interested in a book like this. So can you tell us, for our viewers, exactly on the different chapters that you have dealt in this upcoming book?
Okay. Now, first of all, I have dealt with the RERA. RERA is a revolutionary piece of legislation that changes the landscape of the real estate industry. It empowers the home buyers in dealing with the real estate players. Then I have analyzed the importance of the Commercial Courts Act of 2015. Litigation that took 30 years, 40 years, 50 years in the past gets decided within 2 to 3 years today because of the Commercial Courts Act of 2015. Then I have gone on to analyze the Fugitive Offenders Act of 2018. We know Nirav Modi and others have fled the country, and they are not here to face the investigation and the trial. Now, the Fugitive Offenders Act of 2018 creates a deterrent against people who are intending to flee the country. They can't just flee the country and own the assets in India. So their assets are liable to be attached. They're liable to be confiscated. Then I have gone on to explore the importance of the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code of 2016. As I said earlier, the Indian economy was a creditor's hell and a debtor's paradise. Today, if a corporate debtor defaults in the sum of more than rupees 1 crore, the creditor can take him to the National Company Law Tribunal, and within weeks, let me tell you, within weeks, the incumbent management is shown the door, and the company is put in the hands of the insolvency resolution professionals, which never happened in the past. In the earlier scenario, when you had the Sikh Industrial Companies Act, the promoters remained in management of the company, and the insolvency resolution took decades in the courts. So it was a toothless tiger. But now you have the IBC of 2016. Then I have gone on to explore the significance of integrating J&K with the mainstream Indian economy since 2019. So today it's a one nation, from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, and its importance for the people of J&K and for the Indian economy as a whole. And finally, I have not overlooked the significance of the common man.
Right.
The common man has been thought of by this government, I must say, since 2015. The Jan Dhan bank account, the Startup India campaign, and so many schemes of the government of India today usher in economic justice for the common man. Today, the Indian economy is not only for the top corporates, it is for one and all, for every citizen to prosper. Now, let me give you the example of unicorns. You will be surprised to know that most of the unicorns have been started by youngsters having no legacy, having no background. So it is all because of the important legislations that have come into place, plus the economic policies of this government. So this is broadly the theme of my work.
Great. In fact, I would love to talk more about each chapter that you have dealt, and it will be a pleasure to do so in the coming days. So that part is that I'm just wondering, you are such a top profile lawyer, a Supreme Court advocate, senior advocate, and how do you get so much of time to take care of the legal cases and in the Supreme Court, in other courts, and as well as write so many books, then you deliver so many talks, and then you have got social causes also to take care of. So how do you manage this? What is the motivation that comes from inside? It's a very easy thing to be such a top lawyer and just take a back seat and enjoy life at this stage. What is your motivating factor? And because why I ask is that a lot of young lawyers will be listening to you. A lot of somebody who have achieved certain degree of success, they must be seeing you. They will get a lot of ideas and understanding how a lawyer like you leads his life, his public life as well as just social life also.
I'm passionate about whatever I do. So, so even if I'm working 16 to 18 hours a day, I don't feel I'm working. It's a game I'm playing. So therefore, once I get passionate about a subject, then the passion takes over. And I like to juggle different roles. From a busy senior counsel to authoring a book, to delivering a talk, to becoming an arbitrator. I like multiplicity of roles in my life. I like diversity in my life. So it's all, life is a game. Life is a sport. So I take it in that spirit. And once you are passionate about anything, maybe a sport, academic, your work, your profession, then it ceases to be tiresome. It ceases to be, some kind of a burden. Then you are in that flow, and the flow and the passion give you that energy and the excitement. And I would tell all my younger friends, whatever passions they have, they must pursue those passions with excitement and put energy in whatever you do. And the best will come out. And enjoy the moment.
Such an inspiring way you have explained things, sir. I look forward to that book. I want to read the book in detail, and then I'll be able to ask more questions about each chapters, everything else. So when is this, for the benefit of our viewers and also for my benefit, when is this book coming on in exactly?
I expect the book to be out sometime in the end of February or early March. Of course, it's the decision of the publisher. The book is ready for printing. So, it takes about a month to 8 weeks for the product to come in. See, the book is readable for all. It is not for the legal community only. It is devoid of technical legal jargon. It is written in a very simple journalistic format. I love the way you journalists write. You simplify and demystify the most complex subject. And that's my style of writing. It's not a typical commentary. It is not, boring, technical, legal book. It's a book that can be read over a weekend. I've deliberately kept it within 120, 130 pages. I could have written 400, 500, 600 pages on the subject. But I've kept it simple, readable for anybody to pick up and enjoy the read.
Perfect, sir. That's nice to know. In fact, budget is round the corner, and I guess maybe a lot of interest will be around this book. But if it comes down to March, then it's a bit away from now. I would like to have that privilege of talking to you and getting from you details about each chapter in as much open detail as possible. So in the coming days, I will talk to you and take each chapter of yours from the book as much as possible, that you can talk about them, and then we can also talk about the expectations of budget and how you see it from that particular point that you are sitting at.
It will be a pleasure. It will be a pleasure.
I would like to take that liberty from you so that we can talk about your book in detail in the coming days.
I'm also excited about the upcoming budget, and I'm sure it will be a watershed budget, and for the common man. I want the common man to be at the forefront of all government policies. Every citizen must get his due from the Indian economy, from top to bottom.
Right. With this, it is a wrap on this episode of the KAJ Masterclass. Thank you very much.
Thank you.